Admiral Kang Minho stood in the control room of Earth's deep space station. His eyes watched the screens that showed nothing but empty space and distant stars. For 3 months, the screens had been quiet. Too quiet. "Sir, we have another signal," said Park So-min from her desk. She was the best at reading the strange patterns that came from space. Her fingers moved fast on the keyboard as she tried to understand what the computers were showing her. Kang Minho walked over to look at her screen. The lines and numbers meant nothing to most people, but he had learned to read them. What he saw made his stomach feel cold. "This is the 4th one this week," Park So-min said. Her voice was low and worried. "They are watching us more often now." Lee Jinwoo looked up from his radio equipment. He was young, but very good at his job. "Sir, I think they are talking to each other about us. The signals go out to space, then come back from different places." Kang Minho nodded. He had feared this day would come. For years, Earth scientists had wondered if there was life among the stars. Now they knew the answer, and it was not good news. Dr. Choi Hana came into the control room carrying a thick folder of papers. She looked tired. Her team had been working day and night to understand the alien messages they had caught. Her face was pale and serious. "Admiral, we need to talk," she said. "What I found is very bad." They went to a small room away from the others. Dr. Choi Hana put her papers on the table. Her hand shook a little as she opened the folder. "I've been able to understand some of their language," she said. "It took weeks, but I found patterns in how they talk. Admiral, they think we are weak. They think we cannot fight back." Kang Minho sat down hard in his chair. "What else did you learn?" "They call us the silent planet. They think we are like animals that cannot speak or think. They have been watching many worlds like ours. Most of them are destroyed or made into slave planets." Dr. Choi Hana showed him pictures that her computers had made from the alien signals. The pictures showed big ships and weapons that could destroy whole cities. There were also pictures of other planets that had been attacked. "How long do we have?" Kang Minho asked. "I think maybe 6 months, maybe less. They are still deciding if Earth is worth taking. Right now they think we are too weak to matter. But that will change when they come closer to look." Kang Minho stood up and walked to the window. He could see Earth below, blue and beautiful. Billions of people lived down there. They had no idea that death was coming from the stars. "Have you told President Kim Tae-hyun about this?" he asked. "I sent my report to him this morning. He wants to meet with all the military leaders tonight." That night, the most important people on Earth sat around a long table in a secret room under the government buildings. President Kim Tae-hyun looked older than his 50 years. The weight of leading Earth was heavy on his shoulders. "Dr. Choi, Hana has told us the truth," the president said. "Aliens are watching us. They think we are weak. They plan to attack us and take our planet." General Yoon Da-hyun hit the table with his fist. "How many ships do they have? What weapons? Can we fight them?" Dr. Choi Hana shook her head. "Their technology is much better than ours. One of their ships could probably destroy our whole navy. They have weapons we cannot understand and shields that can stop any missile we have." The room became very quiet. Everyone knew Earth's weapons were not made for space war. They had tanks and planes and ships, but nothing that could fight among the stars. "So we cannot win," said Admiral Bae Sung-yun. He was the leader of Earth's navy. His voice sounded defeated. "Not in a fair fight," said Kang Minho. "But maybe we do not need to fight fair." President Kim Tae-hyun looked at him. "What do you mean?" "They think we are weak because we look weak. Our radio signals are simple. Our space technology looks old. What if we keep looking weak while we get ready to surprise them?" General Yoon Da-hyun leaned forward. "You mean pretend we cannot fight while we build real weapons?" "Exactly. Let them think Earth is helpless. Let them come close. Then hit them with everything we have when they do not expect it." Dr. Choi Hana nodded slowly. "It might work. They are very sure that we cannot hurt them. That makes them careless." President Kim Tae-hyun was quiet for a long time. Finally, he spoke. "This is very dangerous. If they find out we are preparing, they might attack right away with everything they have. If we do nothing, they will attack anyway," said Kang Minho. At least this way we have a chance. The president looked around the table at each person. These were the smartest and strongest people on Earth. If anyone could save the planet, it would be them. We will do it, President Kim Tae-hyun said. We will make them think Earth cannot fight, but we will build the strongest weapons we can make. We will train our best people to use them. And when they come to take our world, we will show them that Earth is not defenseless. Admiral Bae Sung-hyun asked, "What do we call this plan?" Kang Min-ho thought for a moment. "We call it the silent protocol. We stay quiet. We look weak. But we get ready for war." Over the next weeks, Earth changed in secret. On the surface, everything looked the same. People went to work and school. They watched TV and played games. But deep underground and in hidden places, the greatest secret project in human history began. Scientists worked to understand alien technology from the signals they had caught. Engineers designed new weapons that could work in space. Military leaders planned how to fight an enemy that could travel between stars. Park So-min and Lee Jin-woo worked harder than ever. They watched the alien signals and made sure Earth's own messages sounded weak and simple. Every radio signal from Earth had to sound like it came from people who could not fight back. Dr. Choi Hana learned more alien words every day. She found out that many other planets had been conquered. Some fought back, but they all lost. The aliens were very sure that no planet could stop them. That was exactly what Earth wanted them to think. As the weeks passed, more alien signals came. They were getting closer. Soon they would come to Earth to look around. When they did, they would see a peaceful planet with weak technology and no weapons that could reach space. They would not see the secret work happening in hidden bases. They would not know about the new weapons being built. They would not suspect that the quiet planet was planning the biggest surprise in the history of war. Admiral Kang Min-ho looked at the reports from around the world. Everything was going as planned. Earth looked helpless, but it was getting stronger every day. Soon the aliens would learn that the galaxy's weakest planet was about to become its most dangerous. 6 months had passed since the silent protocol began. The world looked the same from space, but everything had changed in secret. General Yoon Dae-hyun floated in zero gravity inside a hollow asteroid far from Earth. This rock, called 2087 Kepler, looked empty to any alien scanner. But inside, hundreds of people worked on the most important project in human history. "How long until the first ship is ready?" General Yoon asked engineer Nam Ji-won. Nam Ji-won wiped sweat from her face. She had been working for 18 hours, straight. Around them, sparks flew as workers put together pieces of the biggest warship ever built by humans. 2 more weeks, she said. The hull is almost done. The weapons are the hard part. We are making things that have never been made before. The ship was huge. It was 3 times longer than Earth's biggest Navy ship and twice as wide. But this ship was built for space war, not ocean war. Its walls were thick metal that could stop alien weapons. Its engines could push it faster than anything Earth had ever built. "What about the weapons?" General Yoon asked. Nam Ji-won smiled for the first time in days. "Those are special. We took the alien signals apart piece by piece. We learned how their shields work. Then we made guns that can break right through them." She led him to a big room where a strange-looking cannon was being put together. It was not like any weapon on Earth. Instead of shooting bullets or missiles, it bent space itself to hit targets. "We call it a quantum displacement cannon," Nam Ji-won explained. "It makes a hole in space and pushes it at the enemy ship. Their shields cannot stop it because it goes around them, not through them." General Yoon Dae-hyun nodded, but he did not really understand how it worked. He just knew that Nam Ji-won was the smartest engineer on Earth. If she said it would work, it would work. Captain Song Hyok came floating down from the upper levels of the ship. He had been training with his crew for months. They had learned to fight in zero gravity and how to use weapons in space. "General, the crew is ready," Captain Song Hyok said. "We have run every test we can think of. My people know this ship better than they know their own homes." "How many crew members do you have?" General Yoon asked. 200 of Earth's best. Pilots, gunners, engineers, doctors. Everyone volunteered. They all know we might not come back. From the first battle, General Yoon Dae-hyun was proud of these people. They were not just soldiers, they were heroes who would risk everything to save Earth. In another part of the asteroid, Ambassador Shin Mi-young was recording a message that would be sent to space. This message had to sound like it came from weak, frightened humans. "Please, we want peace," she said into the microphone. Her voice shook like she was scared. "We are simple people. We do not want to fight anyone. We just want to live on our planet in peace." It was a good performance. The aliens would hear this message and think Earth was full of cowards who would give up without a fight. But Ambassador Shin Mi-young was not a coward. She was one of Earth's smartest diplomats. She had studied alien culture for months and learned exactly what to say to make them feel safe. Dr. Choi Hana worked at a computer nearby. She was still learning the alien language. Every day she understood more of their messages. What she learned made her both afraid and angry. "They talk about us like we are animals," she told Ambassador Shin Mi-young. "They have plans for Earth that are very bad. They want to take all our metal and water. They want to make the survivors work as slaves on other planets." "How many ships are coming?" Ambassador Shin Mi-young asked. "A lot, maybe 200 or more. They think Earth will be easy to conquer, so they are sending enough ships to scare us into giving up without a fight." Dr. Choi Hana showed her the latest messages they had caught. The alien fleet was getting closer. Their scouts would reach Earth's solar system soon. Back on Earth, President Kim Tae-hyun met with military leaders in the secret underground command center. The room was full of screens showing the progress of Earth's hidden weapons. "How many ships do we have ready?" the president asked. Admiral Bae Seung-yun looked at his reports. 12 battleships are being built. 4 are almost ready to fight. The others need more time. Is that enough to win? We do not know. We have never fought aliens before. Our weapons are better than theirs, but they have many more ships. Admiral. Kang Min-ho studied the star maps on the big screen. Red dots showed where alien scouts had been seen. They were getting closer to Earth every week. "We need to make every shot count," he said. "Our ships are stronger, but we will be outnumbered. We have to hit them fast and hard before they know what is happening." The plan was simple but dangerous. Earth ships would hide in the asteroid belt until the alien fleet came close to Earth. Then they would attack all at once, trying to destroy as many alien ships as possible in the first few minutes. Lee Jin-woo came running into the command center. His face was white with fear. "Sirs, we just got new signals," he said. "The alien scouts are in our solar system. They will reach Earth in 3 days." The room became very quiet. Everyone knew this moment would come, but it still felt like a punch in the stomach. President Kim Tae-hyun stood up slowly. "Send the message to all our hidden bases, tell them to get ready. The test is about to begin." In the asteroid base, Captain Song Hyuk gathered his crew in the main hall of their battleship. The ship was not completely finished, but it could fight. It would have to be enough. "Everyone knows why we are here," he said. "In a few days, aliens will come to destroy Earth. They think we cannot stop them. We are going to prove them wrong." His crew looked back at him with serious faces. These were not young soldiers looking for glory. They were mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters. They all had people on Earth they wanted to protect. "Our ship is called Incheon's Pride," Captain Song Hyuk continued. "We will make sure that name means something the aliens will never forget." Nam Ji-won checked her weapons one more time. The quantum displacement cannons were ready. The ship's engines were running perfectly. The armor was as strong as human science. "Could make it." "Captain," she said, "we are as ready as we will ever be." Captain Song Hyuk nodded. He opened a communication channel to the other hidden ships scattered through the asteroid belt. "This is Incheon's Pride calling all Earth ships. Check in and report status." One by one, the other battleships answered. Seoul's Vengeance was ready. Busan's Thunder was ready. All 12 ships were waiting for the order to fight. On Earth, people went about their normal lives. They had no idea that alien scouts were already watching their planet. The scouts saw cities full of people who had no weapons that could reach space. They saw a world that would be easy to conquer. The scouts sent messages back to their fleet. Earth looked exactly like all the other weak planets they had conquered before. This would be another easy victory. But hidden in the dark between the asteroids, 12 human battleships waited in silence. Their crews were ready. Their weapons were charged. Their engines hummed quietly as they prepared to move. The galaxy was about to learn that Earth was not like other planets. The silent world was about to roar. Admiral Kang Minho watched the screens showing the alien scouts getting closer to Earth. Soon, the main fleet would arrive. When it did, they would expect to find a helpless planet. Instead, they would find the fight of their lives. The trap was set. Earth looked defenseless, but it was ready for war. The aliens had made one big mistake. They thought silence meant weakness. They were about to learn how wrong they were. The alien fleet dropped out of hyperspace like a dark cloud covering the sun. 200 warships appeared at the edge of Earth's solar system, their hulls black against the stars. Admiral Kang Minho stood in the command center on Luna Base, watching the enemy arrive through telescopes that showed every detail. Each alien ship was bigger than Earth's largest building. Their weapons glowed with deadly energy. Their shields shimmered like soap bubbles around metal death. "How long until they reach Earth?" President Kim Tae-hyun asked. He had come to Luna Base to watch the battle that would decide humanity's fate. 6 hours at their current speed, said Park So-min. Her fingers danced across her computer as she tracked each enemy ship. They are moving slowly. They think they have all the time in the world. Dr. Choi Hana listened to the alien communications through her headphones. Her face grew pale as she translated their words. They are arguing about who gets to keep what. "Pieces of Earth," she said. "Some want our oceans, others want our forests. They talk about us like we are already dead." The alien fleet moved in perfect formation toward Earth. At the front was the biggest ship anyone had ever seen. It was the size of a small city, covered in weapons that could destroy continents. "That must be their command ship," said Admiral Bae Sung-hyun. He pointed at the massive vessel on the main screen. "If we can destroy that, the others might run away." Admiral Kang Minho shook his head. "We stick to the plan. Hit them all at once. Do not give them time to think." On the alien command ship, War Marshal Grickstar looked at the blue planet growing, larger on his screen. He was an old soldier who had conquered dozens of worlds. To him, Earth looked like all the rest, beautiful and helpless. "Send the surrender message," he told his communications officer. "Give them the usual terms. Submit now or be destroyed." The message went out on all radio frequencies that Earth used. In a dozen languages, the aliens demanded Earth's complete surrender within 24 hours. On Earth, people heard the message and panicked, just as the plan required. News reporters talked about the end of the world. Governments held emergency meetings. Everyone looked up at the sky and waited for death to fall from the stars. But in secret places around the world, Earth's leaders watched and waited for the right moment. "The alien scouts are scanning our cities," reported Lee Jinwoo. "They see crowds of people running around in fear. They see our armies moving their tanks and planes around. Everything looks exactly like they expected." Ambassador Shin Myung broadcast Earth's response to the alien demands. Her voice shook with terror that was not completely fake. "We are a peaceful people," she said. "We have no weapons that can fight you. Please, we will do whatever you want. Just do not hurt us." War Marshal Grickstar heard the message and smiled. Another easy victory. His fleet would take Earth without losing a single ship. The other war marshals would be jealous of such a clean conquest. "Begin the approach to orbital bombardment positions," he ordered. "We will destroy their major cities first. That will make the survivors more willing to cooperate." The alien fleet moved closer to Earth. Their formation was perfect for attacking. A helpless planet. The biggest ships moved to the front where their weapons could do the most damage. The smaller ships spread out to cover more targets. Hidden in the asteroid belt, Captain Song Hyok watched the enemy fleet through his ship's sensors. Incheon's Pride was invisible to alien scanners, hiding behind a large rock that looked empty and harmless. "All ships, this is Incheon's Pride," he said quietly into his radio. "Enemy fleet is moving into attack formation. Prepare to execute breakwater protocol on the Admiral's signal." Across the asteroid belt, 11 other battleships received the message. Their crews had been waiting for months for this moment. Some were scared, but all were ready. Captain Ryu Minsu commanded Busan's Thunder. His ship was hidden behind an asteroid on the opposite side of the belt. Busan's Thunder ready, he reported. Commander Ojisu was aboard Seoul's Vengeance, the newest and fastest of Earth's battleships. Seoul's Vengeance standing by, she said. One by one, all 12 ships reported ready. Their quantum displacement cannons were charged, their engines were warm, their crews were at battle stations. On Luna Base, Admiral Kang Minho watched the alien fleet move closer to Earth. When they reached the perfect position, all of them would be in range of Earth's hidden weapons. Distance to target? He asked. 8 million kilometers in closing, Park Semin replied. At current speed, they will reach attack position in 40 minutes. President Kim Tae-hyun looked at the screen showing Earth below. Cities were dark as people hid in their homes. Military bases showed fake activity as soldiers moved empty trucks and old equipment around to look busy. Are we doing the right thing? The president asked. If we fail, every person on Earth will die. If we do nothing, they will die anyway, Admiral Kang Minho replied. At least this way we fight back. Dr. Choi Hana continued listening to alien communications. What she heard made her angry enough to forget her fear. They are making jokes, she said. They laugh about how easy this will be. One of them says Earth humans will make good pets for their children. The alien fleet was now close enough that people on Earth could see them with telescopes. 200 dark shapes moving across the stars like a swarm of metal insects. Death coming from the void. War Marshal Grixtar stood on the bridge of his command ship and felt satisfied. In 1 hour, he would send the signal to begin bombardment. Earth's cities would burn and another planet would join the hegemony's empire. Sir, his scanner officer called out, I am seeing some unusual readings from the asteroid belt. What kind of readings? War Marshal Grixtar asked. Energy signatures. Very faint, probably just solar radiation reflecting off the rocks. War Marshal. Grixtar nodded. These primitive worlds were always full of strange natural phenomena. It was nothing to worry about. He was wrong. In the asteroid belt, 12 human battleships powered up their weapons. Energy flowed through systems that had never been tested in real battle. Quantum displacement cannons hummed with deadly power. Captain Song Hyok looked at his crew. They were all watching him, waiting for the order that would start the biggest battle in human history. All stations report ready, Captain, said his weapons officer. Engine power at maximum, reported his engineer. Targeting computers have locks on enemy ships, said his gunner. Captain Song Hyok opened a channel to Admiral Kang Minho. Incheon's Pride ready to execute breakwater protocol. On Luna Base, Admiral Kang Minho watched the alien fleet move into the perfect position. They were spread out in attack formation, thinking only about destroying Earth. They had no idea that death was hiding in the rocks around them. All ships, Admiral Kang Minho said into his microphone. This is Earth Command. You are clear to engage. Execute breakwater protocol. Captain Song Hyok smiled. After months of hiding and waiting, it was time to show the galaxy what humans could do. All ships, he broadcast to the hidden fleet. Break silence. Attack now. 12 human battleships dropped their hiding and rushed toward the alien fleet. Their engines blazed like new stars as they accelerated to attack speed. The war for Earth had begun. Space exploded with light and fire. 12 human battleships burst from the asteroid belt like avenging angels. Their engines burned bright blue as they raced toward the alien fleet at speeds that should have been impossible. Captain Song Hyok felt his body pressed back into his command chair as Incheon's Pride accelerated. Around him, his crew worked at their stations with the smooth precision of months of training. Target the big one in front, he ordered his weapons officer. Make it count. War Marshal Grixtar stood frozen on his command bridge, watching impossible things happen on his screens. Ships were appearing from empty space. Big ships. Ships that looked more advanced than anything in his fleet. Where did they come from? He shouted at his scanner officer. I do not know, sir. The asteroid belt was empty. Our scans showed nothing. But there was no time to understand what had happened. The human ships were already firing. Captain Song Hyuk pressed the firing button himself. Fire all weapons. Incheon's Pride unleashed 6 quantum displacement cannons at once. The space around War Marshal Grickstar's command ship twisted and bent as reality itself was used as a weapon. The alien shields flashed and sparked as they tried to stop an attack they could not understand. For a moment, it looked like they might hold. Then the quantum energy found a way through and the shields collapsed like soap bubbles. War Marshal Grickstar watched in horror as holes appeared in his ship's hull. Not blast holes, perfect round holes that went through metal and armor like they were made of paper. Atmosphere rushed out into space, carrying crew members with it. Return fire. All ships, return fire, he screamed into his communicator. But the human attack had been planned perfectly. 12 ships hit 30 alien vessels in the first 90 seconds. Commander Ojisu's Soul's Vengeance destroyed 3 ships so fast that their explosions lit up space like fireworks. Direct hit on Target 7, she called out to her crew. Target 8 is breaking apart, moving to Target 9. Captain Ryu, Minsu's Busan's thunder punched through the alien formation like a knife through cloth. His quantum cannons fired again and again, each shot destroying or badly damaging an enemy ship. This is Busan's thunder, he reported to the fleet. I count 15 enemy ships destroyed. They are trying to run. On Luna Base, Admiral Kang Minho watched the battle through his telescopes and could hardly believe what he was seeing. Earth's ships were not just winning, they were dominating completely. Our weapons are better than we hoped, said Park Soman. Her voice was full of amazement. The alien shields cannot stop our cannons at all. President Kim Tae-hyun grabbed Admiral Kang Minho's arm. Are we really winning? It looks that way, sir, but the battle is not over yet. He was right. War Marshal Grickstar was an experienced commander. After the first shock, he began to organize his fleet for a real fight. All ships, form defensive circle around the command vessel, he ordered. Concentrate fire on the human ships. There are only 12 of them. We still have the numbers. The alien fleet began to change formation. The undamaged ships moved to protect the damaged ones. Their weapons turned toward the human battleships, preparing to fire back. But engineer Nam Ji-won had built Earth ships to fight against superior numbers. Their armor was not just thick, it was designed to absorb and redirect energy weapons. When the aliens finally returned fire, their plasma cannons hit the human ships like ocean waves hitting a rock cliff. The energy spread across the armor and disappeared harmlessly into space. Hull integrity holding at 98%, reported the engineer aboard Incheon's Pride. Their weapons barely scratched us. Captain Song Hyuk smiled. Then let us scratch them back. The human ships began their second attack run. This time, they split up into 4 groups of 3 ships each. Each group attacked from a different direction, making it impossible for the aliens to defend against all of them. War Marshal Grickstar watched his fleet being torn apart piece by piece. These humans fought like they had been doing space battles for centuries, not like a primitive species that had never left their home planet. How is this possible? He asked his tactical officer. Our intelligence said they had no space weapons at all. I do not know, sir. But their technology is better than ours. Much better. Dr. Choi Hana, listening to alien communications from Luna Base, heard the fear in their voices as they realized they were losing. They are calling for help, she reported to Admiral Kang Minho. But their nearest backup fleet is weeks away. Some ships are asking permission to retreat. What is War Marshal Grickstar telling them? He says they cannot retreat. The hegemony would punish them for losing to primitives. He is ordering them to fight to the death. Admiral Bae Seung-yun looked at the battle display. 70 alien ships were already destroyed or badly damaged. But Earth's 12 battleships were still fighting at full strength. Our ships are holding up better than we hoped, he said. At this rate, we might destroy their entire fleet. But the battle was not just about destroying ships. It was about sending a message to the galaxy. Earth was no longer a helpless world that could be conquered easily. Commander Ojisu maneuvered Soul's Vengeance through a cloud of alien debris. Her ship's advanced sensors tracked every enemy vessel, looking for the best targets. Captain, I have a clear shot at their ammunition. Ship, her weapons officer reported. Take it, she ordered. The quantum displacement cannon fired once. The alien ammunition ship exploded like a small sun, taking 3 nearby vessels with it. The shock wave from the explosion damaged 6 more ships. Captain Ryu Minsu saw the explosion from across the battlefield. Nice shot, Soul's Vengeance. Busan's Thunder moving in to finish the damaged ones. The coordination between human ships was perfect. They had trained together for months, learning to fight as a team. The aliens had more ships, but they were used to fighting weak enemies. They did not know how to handle an opponent that could fight back. War Marshal Grickstar's command ship shuddered as another quantum cannon blast punched through its armor. Half of his weapons were destroyed. His shields were failing. Around him, his bridge crew worked desperately to keep the ship fighting. Sir, we have lost over half the fleet, his tactical officer reported. Should we signal for retreat? War Marshal Grickstar looked at the battle display. It showed a disaster beyond his worst nightmares. The primitive humans were destroying his fleet with weapons that should not exist. No retreat, he said finally. If we run now, the hegemony will never forgive this failure. We fight until the end. But some of his captains had already made their own choice. 20 alien ships broke formation and began running toward the edge of the solar system. Their captains had decided that living in disgrace was better than dying for nothing. Captain Song Hyuk saw the retreating ships and opened a channel to Admiral Kang Minho. Admiral, some of them are running. Should we chase them? Admiral Kang Minho thought for a moment. Let them go. We want some survivors to tell the galaxy what happened here. The battle continued for another hour. One by one, the remaining alien ships were destroyed or disabled. War Marshal Grickstar's command ship was the last one fighting, its weapons firing desperately at the human battleships that surrounded it. Finally, even the great command ship's weapons fell silent. Its hull was full of holes, its engines were dead. Its crew was either dead or unconscious. Captain Song Hyuk opened a communication channel to the damaged alien ship. This is Captain Song Hyuk of the Earth battleship Incheon's Pride. Surrender now, and we will spare your crew. War Marshal Grickstar, bleeding from a head wound, looked around his ruined bridge. Most of his officers were dead. His ship was dying. His fleet was destroyed. He had no choice left. This is War Marshal Grickstar, he said into his communicator. His voice sounded tired and defeated. I surrender my ship and remaining crew to Earth forces. The Battle of Sol was over. Earth had won. The silence after the battle was almost as shocking as the battle itself. Admiral Kang Minho stood in the command center on Luna Base, looking at screens that showed the wreckage of the alien fleet floating in space. 200 ships had arrived to conquer Earth. Only 20 had escaped. The rest were destroyed or captured. Final count? He asked Park Salmon. 167 alien ships destroyed, she reported. 13 captured with crews still alive. 20 escaped to hyperspace. She paused and smiled. 0 Earth ships lost. Minor damage to 4 of our battleships. President Kim Tae-hyun sat down heavily in a chair. For months he had carried the weight of knowing that Earth might be destroyed. Now suddenly that weight was gone. We actually won, he said, as if he could not believe it. We really won. Dr. Choi Hana was listening to radio signals from the escaped alien ships. What she heard made her both proud and worried. The survivors are sending messages to their homeworlds, she reported. They are telling everyone that Earth has a fleet of superweapons. They say we are more dangerous than any species in the galaxy. Admiral Bae Sung-hyun nodded. Good. Fear will keep other fleets away while we get ready for the next attack. Captain Song Hyuk brought his prisoner to Luna Base in a small transport ship. War Marshal Grickstar was badly injured but still alive. His pride was hurt worse than his body. Captain Ryu Minsu met them at the docking bay. He had been put in charge of prisoner operations. The alien war marshal looked small and broken compared to the proud commander who had arrived to conquer Earth. Do not understand, War Marshal Grickstar said as they walked through the human base. Our scans showed nothing. No weapons, no ships. How did you hide such a powerful fleet? Captain Ryu Minsu smiled. We are very good at keeping secrets. They brought the alien commander to a secure room where Dr. Choi Hana was waiting. She had many questions to ask about the galaxy beyond Earth. How many worlds has your hegemony conquered? She asked. War Marshal Grixtar sat in silence for a long time. Finally, he answered. Hundreds, maybe thousands. We have been expanding for over 1,000 years. What happens to the people on those worlds? The useful ones become workers, the others... He did not finish the sentence. Dr. Choi Hana felt sick, but she kept asking questions. Are there other species who fight back? Some try. They all fail. Until now. War Marshal Grixtar looked at her with something like respect. Your people are the first to defeat a full hegemony fleet. Over the next days, Earth's leaders learned the truth about galactic civilization. The hegemony controlled most of the galaxy through fear and superior weapons. Dozens of species lived as slaves. Others hid on distant worlds, hoping never to be found. But now, word was spreading that Earth had fought back and won. On slave worlds across the galaxy, people whispered about the humans who had destroyed an entire invasion fleet. Engineer Nam Ji-won worked day and night to study the captured alien technology. Their ships were advanced, but not as advanced as Earth's new weapons. However, they had some useful things that Earth could copy. Their hyperspace engines are better than anything we have, she reported to General Yoon Dae-hyun. If we can understand how they work, we can build ships that travel between stars. General Yoon Dae-hyun nodded. How long to build a fleet that can fight in space between planets? With what we learned from the aliens? Maybe 2 years to build 50 battleships, maybe less if we work fast. President Kim Tae-hyun called a meeting of Earth's leaders. The war was over, but Earth's future was just beginning. We have 3 choices, he told them. We can hide and hope no one finds us again. We can build defenses and wait for the next attack, or we can take the fight to our enemies. Admiral Kang Minho spoke first. Hiding did not work. They found us once. They will find us again. Next time, they might send 1,000 ships instead of 200. I agree, said Admiral Bai Sung-hyun. We need to attack first before they can organize a bigger fleet. Ambassador Shin Mi-young had a different idea. What if we become the leader of all the species that want to be free? We could build an alliance against the hegemony. Dr. Choi Hana supported this plan. The prisoner told me about dozens of worlds that hate the hegemony. If they knew someone was strong enough to fight back, they might join us. President Kim Tae-hyun thought about all the options. Each one was dangerous, but doing nothing was the most dangerous of all. We will do all 3, he decided. We will build the strongest fleet in the galaxy. We will make alliances with other free species. And we will take the fight to the hegemony before they can hurt anyone else. 3 months after the battle, Earth's first interstellar diplomatic mission was ready to launch. Ambassador Shin Mi-young would command a small fleet of 3 ships. Their mission was to contact other species and offer Earth's protection. Captain Song-hyuk had been promoted to admiral. He would command Earth's growing battle fleet from the new flagship Seoul's Vengeance, which was twice as big as the original battleships. Are you ready for this? President Kim Tae-hyun asked him. Earth is ready, Admiral Song-hyuk replied. For too long, bullies have controlled the galaxy. It is time for that to change. The launch ceremony was broadcast across Earth. For the first time, people learned the truth about the secret war that had saved their planet. They learned about the brave crews who had hidden in the asteroids for months, waiting for their chance to fight. Captain Ryu Minsu, now commanding the battleship, Incheon's Thunder, spoke to the crowd that had gathered to watch the ships leave. We go to the stars not as conquerors, but as protectors, he said. We will never attack the innocent. We will never enslave the weak, but we will fight anyone who tries to harm others. The crowd cheered as the ships rose into the sky. Their engines burned bright blue as they climbed toward the stars where new adventures waited. Dr. Choi Hana had decoded more alien messages. She learned that the hegemony was in chaos. Their leaders could not believe that a primitive planet had destroyed a full battle fleet. Some wanted to send an even bigger fleet to destroy Earth. Others wanted to negotiate. But there were also messages from other species. Dozens of worlds were asking if the stories about Earth were true. Were the humans really as strong as people said? Would they really help others fight for freedom? Engineer Nam Ji-won had built faster than anyone thought possible. Earth now had 30 battleships ready for combat, with 20 more under construction. Each new ship was better than the last, incorporating lessons learned from captured alien technology. War Marshal Grixtar had become an unexpected ally. After months as a prisoner, he had seen how Earth treated its enemies with respect. He offered to help Earth understand galactic politics and military strategy. The hegemony is strong, but not as strong as they pretend, he told Admiral Kang Minho. They rule through fear. If enough species rebel at the same time, the hegemony cannot stop them all. As Earth's diplomatic ships traveled to distant worlds, they carried a simple message. Earth extends greetings to our galactic neighbors. We come in peace, but we are not defenseless. Let all who would harm others take note. The silence is broken. On the first world they visited, Ambassador Shin Mi-young met with leaders who had lived in fear of the hegemony for generations. When they saw Earth's advanced ships and powerful weapons, hope returned to their eyes for the first time in decades. You really defeated an entire hegemony fleet? Asked the planetary leader. We did, Ambassador Shin Mi-young confirmed. And we will help you defend yourselves if you want to be free. Within weeks, a dozen worlds had joined what became known as the Freedom Alliance. Each world contributed ships, resources, or knowledge to the growing rebellion against hegemony rule. Back on Earth, President Kim Tae-hyun received reports from across the galaxy. The war was spreading, but this time the oppressed were winning. Earth's example had shown everyone that the hegemony could be defeated. Admiral Song Hyuk's battle fleet had won 3 major victories against hegemony forces. Each victory brought more species into the alliance. The galaxy was changing, and Earth was leading that change. The silent protocol had worked perfectly. By appearing weak, Earth had lured its enemies into a trap. But the real victory was not destroying the invasion fleet. The real victory was giving hope to billions of people who had given up on freedom. Late at night, Admiral Kang Minho often stood at the window of Luna Base, looking out at the stars. Somewhere among those points of light, human ships were fighting to free enslaved worlds. Other species looked to Earth as their protector and ally. The galaxy had thought Earth was defenseless. They had been wrong about that. But more importantly, they had been wrong about what humanity would do with power. Instead of becoming conquerors like the hegemony, humans became liberators. The age of hegemony rule was ending. The age of freedom was beginning. And Earth, the quiet world that had surprised the galaxy, stood at the center of it all. The silence was broken, and the galaxy would never be the same.